fantastic show. This is what it's all been building up to, baby. This is the Oscar 2021 nominations. We'll talk predictions. We'll talk everything. What am I looking at? You may ask as you watch these crazy animals. These are abyss creatures from way below the ocean. We'll cut back to this because it's fascinating. And why not? Because all we're going to be doing is talking about the categories. And the beautiful thing is, because of the Golden Globes, I've actually covered all of these films. So without further ado, we're jumping right in, baby. We're going Best Picture. We're not messing around. So here we go. Best Picture, number 1, The Father. The Father is not available. You can literally not watch it. It's right over here. 2.5K means that nobody saw it. No, only people that saw it were people that have access to it thanks to festivals. And of course, the Oscar voters have... they get sent DVDs in the mail of all these films. But it will be available before the end of April, which is when the Oscars do happen. So we'll cover it. But everything else, baby, we have covered. Mank, except Mank. Mank by choice. It was purposeful that I did not watch it. Because, first of all, it has the lowest score of all of them. It's black and white. And it's about the screenwriter of the movie Citizen Kane. So not it's about old-time Hollywood. So it's very... no thanks. Plus, I haven't seen Citizen Kane, so I cannot judge, but I will not watch it. If it would have won the Golden Globe for Best Picture, then I would have to, and you would think that it would win Best Picture here. But because it didn't, its chances of winning are pretty low. So I'm pretty excited about that. But let's get into it, man. This is the meat of it, which is everything else, which I have seen, right? Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Women, Sound of Metal, which I am extremely happy is here because it might be, chances are it will be my number 1 of the year of all the films. Literally everything coming out, not just these. So I'm very happy it's here. And The Trial of the Chicago 7, which is crazy because I just saw it yesterday. It was the last one I had to see other than The Father, of course, which is not available. So just to show you real quick, literally in score order, Minari I did not like. Simply put, it's a story about a Korean family who starts a farm in the United States. So it's about immigration, right? If you do not want to see it, if that does not interest you, which really it shouldn't, then you don't have to watch it. Because it's really, I did not like it. I thought it was boring. And to be honest, in terms of perspective, it is the most limited. It is interesting, I guess. But yeah, 7.7 though is high. So I might be wrong on this one, but I don't believe I am, considering I watch all of these in the same span of time. So, and also, this won Best Foreign Film, Golden Globes, and it was a big controversy because it's not a foreign film. It was made by a Korean director who happens to be American. It's about him. Like, I believe he's the little boy in the film. So yeah, no thanks on Minari, but everything else, baby. Everything else I love dearly. Promising Young Woman, the youth film of the year. It is extremely fun. It's cool music, cool vibes. It is about a dark subject. It is about consent, which is of course, it's not only is it a hot topic right now, but it is very controversial. Nobody wants to talk about it, right? But this movie not only talks about it, but does so in such a fun way, in such a refreshing, like it feels like a movie of 2021 as compared to like Mank feels like a movie from the 60s, you know what I mean? So Promising Young Woman, if you're a casual movie fan, might be the one you like the most. I don't doubt it. Nomadland won the Best Picture Golden Globe. Chances are will win Best Picture for the Oscars. Thing is, I do not agree. I love the director. She did the writer, and it's a documentary style. So it is a fictional film, but it is about the nomads. So not only do they have real life nomads to play the other actors that she interacts with, which again are not actors, they're nomads. And that perspective is really cool. So you get to see multiple parts of it. So it's very interesting, but because of its documentary style, it's small in scale. But I do highly respect it, and to be honest, this has a 60% chance, in my opinion, of winning the Best Picture, just because I won the Golden Globe, also because it's very unique, and she deserves it. But if it were up to me, I would give her Best Director. She deserves Best Director, but in terms of Best Film, I would give it to somebody else. I would give it to either these next three. Trial of the Chicago 7, loved it. Fantastic. It's extremely fast-paced, also extremely fun. So in terms of fun to watch, because Oscar movies, if we're being real, usually aren't fun to watch, that just goes with the premise. Best pictures are usually about perspectives that are never seen before, that are usually fraught with struggle. So Trial of Chicago 7 is about that as well. It is about a real life historic trial, right? About a riot that happened for liberal rights and anti-war movement. But it is extremely fun. It moves at a quick pace. It has incredible editing, which I wish this would win for Best Editor. But this is not my two favorite films that are nominated for Best Picture. My two favorite films nominated for Best Picture are by far Judas and the Black Messiah, which is palpable injustice. It's also quick moving, it has good black vibes, but it also brings the injustice anger out of you. Like there's a feeling this movie leaves you with. While it is easy to watch and fun in parts, it is incredibly angering, justifiably so. You know, you're mad against the system. Fantastic. Like you got to see it, right? And it's also 7.7. It's the highest scored other than Sound of Metal. Sound of Metal is my three favorite movies of the year: Judas and the Black Messiah, Sound of Metal, and a snub, which I will tell you real soon. But Sound of Metal is probably my number one. I'm calling it right now. I haven't seen it a second time. I will before the Oscars to confirm that. But as I speak right now, this is it. The less said, the better. But I'll just say the premise because I guess you kind of need it. But it's straight up just, man, I kind of don't want to see it. Okay, I will say it because anyway, go in blind as much as possible. Amazon, of course. I wish I could see it on big screen because it would work. It would work very well. I'm losing my words because I'm so excited. Plus, I'm talking about stuff I really love. But you need good sound. Very important. Because this is about sound. Like, that's all I'll say. Literally, it's the beginning of the word, right? And I'll talk about it more another time once I cover it. Because I've covered all of these, by the way, on my channel here on Twitch and on Alex Stories Plays. Better here, Alex Stories Plays. Because of... I'm not very good at creating highlights on Twitch. So some of these have been lost through time. And over here, I got Nomadland, I got Judas and the Black Messiah, and of course I got Trial of Chicago 7. And I've talked more in depth about the films themselves, not really their likelihood of winning or their value on this list. Now here's the thing. There's only 8 nominees, right? Now that's not too crazy, that's nothing insane, but they could have done 10. Nobody would have complained, nobody would have said anything. And it would have been easy because you could have put One Night in Miami. You could have put the Five Bloods. You could have put Soul, which I'm happy they did not put because of it. Like we're only choosing 8 because these are the 8. Like there's no doubt about it, which you gotta respect, right? Which is why I'm so happy Sound of Metal is here because it wasn't in the Golden Globes nominees. And also same thing with Promising Young Woman because it is such a. It's once you see it, you'll understand because it's very. It has like Britney Spears as its literal anchor to its soundtrack. Like you know what I mean? Like that doc movie, if you will. if I use an allegory that everybody can get, but yeah, that's the best pictures, baby. If it were up to me, give it to Sound of Metal. Give Best Director to Chloe Zhao. But we'll get into the nominations of other things. Look at these things. You know what I mean? Like they're insane. And this is the new one. It's like a floating chicken, which I find hilarious. But because of this floating chicken, we now have all of these to look back on and appreciate. Moving on. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, we're starting from scratch. We're going way up. We're doing every nominee except the unimportant ones. Best Actor, always controversial because in my opinion, you give it to Riz Ahmed. I love Riz Ahmed as in Sound of Metal. It's his best performance easily. The thing is, Chadwick Boseman died this year, and he did a great performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I would not say it's his best. So if it were up to me, I would give it to Riz, even though it's gonna go to Chadwick. It's unfortunately it's automatic, and I have a slightly controversial opinion on this. Where, tell you what, if he was the best actor in my opinion, I would give it to him, even though he's dead. But if he's not dead and he's not the best performance, again in my opinion, you have to give it to somebody else because this helps their career. This is something that is important, and he can't. If we're being real, he can't appreciate it. And trust me, I did a piece on Chadwick, so he would. Anyway, I defend what I'm saying. Roles are hard, like Malcolm X, Denzel Washington, or Martin Luther King Jr., right? those are extremely hard roles to take on, because these are people that literally changed culture. To portray these people, which are larger than life, you have to kill it, and it's the most difficult challenge, and he did it so well. It is perfect. I have not seen One Night in Miami. I will, of course. Paul Rassi I love, and Lakeith Stanfield was the other actor in Judas and the Black Messiah, but trust me, it's not even close. Daniel Kaluuya will win, if not Sacha Baron Cohen as a actress in leading role. Unfortunately, Andra Day won the Golden Globe. I did not see it. The United States versus Billie Holiday, well-known singer. Andra Day herself is a singer. Chances are she will win. I wouldn't be surprised. If not, I would give it to Frances McDormand, but all of these are incredible. Viola Davis is the second half of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. She plays the real person in that film. Chadwick plays a fictional one. She played Ma Rainey's, right? Who was a blues singer back in the old days. Fantastic performance. Vanessa Kirby plays a woman who goes through labor. Something happens, and she has to deal with it. And it's a hell of a ballsy performance. It's like the kind of performance that makes you remembered. So Vanessa Kirby, remember the name. She's on the up and up. And Carey Mulligan, Frances, it's either going to be Andra Day because of the Golden Globe, or Frances, because she really does kill it. She goes all above and beyond to be part of these nomads. You believe Frances has been a nomad her whole life. So big respect. Back to the creatures for 2 seconds. Why? Because man, you need some dichotomy, man. You need some balance. You know, it's fun to talk about the Oscars. It is a serious topic, so why not add some light? Like literal light. The abyss is the blackest place on earth. You can't see nothing. So these creatures, just to survive, have to rely on light that they themselves create. It's beautiful stuff. But moving on. Actress in a supporting role, I would love if Maria Bakalova won, because she is the heart and soul of Borat 2, which I also really liked. Chances are she won't win because it's comedy. It's also her first role. It's a little weird. So we'll see. But other than that, like, no, don't give it to her. Olivia Colman, we'll have to see, but Olivia Colman is one of the best actresses, period. She's like top 5 of all time, in my opinion, of what I've seen. Hillbilly Elegy is apparently one of the worst movies of the year, so I'm very surprised Glenn Close is here. And Amanda Seyfried is the only reason I kind of want to watch Mank, because Amanda Seyfried in Mank is like, man, I look at this image and I'm like, dude, I want to watch Mank. I want to watch Mank for that face, man. She's anyway. But I'm guessing her performance is excellent. Of course, it's not about her face. It is about her performance. But yeah, to be honest, this one's a toss-up. It could be anybody. Okay, here's where I get upset. Okay, everybody will be talking about Oscar snubs. One Night in Miami, The Five Bloods. Mine is News of the World. News of the World with Tom Hanks, directed by Paul Greengrass, which is a Western, one of my favorite Westerns of all time, if not my favorite Western of all time, in which Tom Hanks literally delivers news from town to town and has to take care of this little girl because of circumstances, right? Fantastic film. I wish it would be in the Best Picture nominees. It deserves to be there, and like I said, making 10 would have been easy. You put that, and then you could have put Bad Education, you could have put The Five Bloods, you could have put One Night in Miami, you could have even put Soul, and I would not have been mad. But they chose what they chose. But the biggest snub, my best... Also check it out, but it's not that easy, so go in with a grain of salt, but still, it's incredible. And of course, Croods 2, baby. It's between those 3. I have not chosen. I do not know the order, but I do know those are the 3. Unless it is beat, but chances are it won't be. And Croods 2, which, no disrespect, I have not seen it yet. I will see it. But when it's not even close. While Croods 2 is better than all of these, again, in my opinion. It just sucks because it is viewed more as a comedy, and of course it is the best comedy of 2020. They don't count it, even though it has also a great emotional arc. Anyway, it's upsetting to me. What are you gonna? Almost impossible. I did it, and even I have blind spots. Of course, I have a month, so in 2 weeks I pretty much filled all those holes. But Wolfwalkers should win. Croods 2. But since it's not here, Wolfwalkers should get it. It's incredibly beautiful. It's 2D animation. It pops. It's an incredible story. Like Borderline doesn't have any comedy, which means its plot and its characters have to shine so much more brightly for it to even have a chance, right? Because Soul has jokes, and it does. Wolfwalkers is incredible. It's on Apple Plus or whatever. Highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. Like Soul got a 9. You know, Onward got a 10 actually. I like Onward more than Soul, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, Wolfwalkers for now, but Croods 2 not being here is a literal injustice. Yeah, I am serious. Cinematography. To be honest, I'm surprised Judas is here, but that's fine. News of the World is beautiful because it is a Western. Every year that goes by, it is harder to make a Western just based on the fact that you have to build these shacks in the middle of the desert. You know what I mean? It's very complicated. And all of its shots are shot in the theater, which means it's all landscapes, right? So it was pretty good. Damn, it's hard. It's hard. But and because I haven't seen Mank, I would say it's between Mank and News of the World in this case. But if we're being honest, nobody this year really blew us away with cinematography. I'm thinking of Blade Runner 2049 2 years back. Like that was like undeniable. It was like, holy crap, that the cinematography in Blade Runner, right, looked incredible. So, but this year, just none of those cases. Costume design. Let's be honest. You don't want my opinion on this. Like, come on. Why is Pinocchio here? What the hell is this? Pinocchio? There's no Pinocchio movie that came out this year. You know what? This is worth an investigation. I'll put the Pinocchio. There's no way, because I know there's like 2 or 3 different Pinocchio films in development right now. Pinocchio 2020, right? Let's see here. There it is, 2019. Wow, 84%. It only has 6.2, but still, it exists. So I take it back. It exists. Directing, like I said earlier, give it to Chloe Zhao. Really, I cannot wait because her next movie is Marvel's The Eternals, which is insane, and it's based on her pitch. So, like, I love that if she does win this Oscar, it's like Oscar-nominated director directs a Marvel movie with Angelina Jolie. It's gonna be insane. Give it to her. If not, to be honest, give it to, I guess, David Fincher. I haven't seen Mank, but like Black and White, right? He's one of the best. Don't know if he won before. If not, Emerald Fennell was pretty good as in Promising Young Woman because it is so of today, right? Consent and nice music and all that stuff. It's very it's youth driven. It's funny because I'm missing the word to encapsulate what this movie is, but it's avant-garde. You know what I mean? It's ahead of its time. Especially for the Oscars, because Oscar voters are notably old. Documentary, to be honest, I have not seen any of these, which is sad. I'll catch up on them. Most importantly is Crip Camp. I do want to watch Crip Camp because apparently it's incredible. It probably will win, so we'll see. Film editing, like I said earlier, give it the Trial of Chicago 7. It is the secret weapon of that film. Aaron Sorkin is known for his very wordy scripts, and his films are very dialogue driven, right? So to make that interesting, you need tight editing, good music, etc., etc. And I was blown away by how entertaining. What makes a film entertaining is good pace. Pace is something that is unquantifiable. There's no pace master. There's no best award for best pace, right? But if you think about pace, editing is a lot about that. So for that alone, in my opinion, you have to give it to Trial of Chicago 7. Sound of Metal is my favorite film, and I can accept that it doesn't have the best pace. It's even slow. Like Nomadland, by the way. Nomadland might win Best Picture, right? But you must understand that it is slow, which I could see people not liking it in the same way people would like Promising Young Woman, Trial of Chicago 7, and others, just because they're more easy to digest. International film, I'm surprised by all the nominees because 4 of these I do not know. Better Days Collective, The Man Who Sold His Skin, and Quo Vadis Ida. Anyway, I have not heard from at all, so I'll look these up. We'll see if we have to watch one. I did see another round all about alcoholism, the same director of The Hunt with Mads Mikkelsen. Good film, nothing crazy. So it might win just by virtue of being the only one that people have seen. I know it's crazy, but that's how it works, man. You know, you can only vote for what you've seen. Like, I could watch Mank, right? Which I won't. And it ends up being my favorite film. You never know. You never know. But I don't care for Citizen Kane, so I highly doubt that would happen. So, again, you never know. music, original score, give it to Soul. Soul won for the Golden Globe, deservingly so, because again, it's all about the dichotomy between the real life jazz scenes done by John Baptiste. Love John Baptiste from Stephen Colbert Show, and the Soul universe, which is the Soul universe, which is all techno beats, man. It's techno, it's electronic, and that is of course Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross from Nine Inch Nails. So the fact that both of these not only coexist, but actually work beautifully, like there's not a moment where it doesn't work. Just for that alone, that you literally have these two disparate genres and they mix beautifully and work. Give it to Soul. Give it to Soul. That's its strongest thing. And this I was surprised by the way. Music, original song. Husavik is here, man. Give it to Husavik. I don't even care about the others. I saw Trial of Chicago and Judas and the Black Messiah very recently, in the last week or two, and I do not remember these songs. I will look them up, and I'm pretty sure they're fantastic, right? They're all about the struggle. But the one song I do remember is Husavik from Eurovision. Eurovision is a Will Ferrell comedy on Netflix. I actually loved it. It's probably the best Will Ferrell movie in years. But Husavik, it's about Eurovision, which is this gigantic contest. American Idol, big singing, performance. Perfect performance. And Husavik is the song they made for that performance. And it's breathtaking. Like, I cried, I was extremely happy, and as a climax of this comedy, it elevates the film, just based on this song alone. So, to be honest, I would love it if it won. We'll see. And, yeah, again, you never know. And here's the animated short film live action. I've been lucky enough so that in the last few years, there's a cinema near me that actually plays them in a block. So you go, you pay for the live action block and the animated block, and they play them all back to back, and some that weren't nominated but that were considered. So it makes for incredible experiences, because these are usually serious, especially the live action ones. These are brutal. If you thought watching Judas, you watch any one of these and chances are you will be more wrecked emotionally. I remember there was a woman behind me one of these years, and she started so excited. She was like super pumped, and then after watching like 3, she's like, "This keeps going? When does it stop?" I swear to God, she said something like that. I'm paraphrasing because I'm going off memory, but man, she was distraught with emotion. But I love it. So these two, I will cover all of them, very soon. I don't know when, but for sure in the month of April. This is the kind of stuff, and we're being real here. I go to the cinema a lot. Yes, I carry the risk, but I do everything in my power to mitigate that risk. And there's very few things I would actually recommend you to take that risk for, because asking this of people is hard. But I would do it for Judas and the Black Messiah, and I would do it for these short films, because they're all in one block. And trust me, the seatings in the cinema themselves are made so that you can't, there is social distancing, right? So I would recommend you take the risk for these. I know they're hard to find, I know they're rare, but if you do have them, check them out. It's one of the best things I do every year. And that's pretty much it, man. We got, like, writing a script, it goes to Trial of Chicago 7. Like, it's so obvious to me. Of course, he's known for his screenplays, but it really does deliver. It really does deliver in that regard. It won the best Golden Globe, so to me, it's a given. It really is. Adapted screenplay is interesting because it's pretty funny that Borat is here. To be honest, I can't really... This means they're adapted from books or from other works, right? White Tiger, I don't know what that is. But, so, I'll tell you what, I won't talk about this. Visual effects, though. Love and Monsters is here. Very surprising. I was supposed to watch it because apparently it was much better than anticipated, because it's a young adult movie. Midnight Sky I haven't seen, from George Clooney. Mulan, same thing. It's funny how these are, like, mostly bad movies. If we're being honest, they're not bad, but they're not good enough to be worth watching. The one in Only Ivan I loved because it's Bryan Cranston taking care of a gorilla. It's like a zoo within a mall, so all the animals are special effects. So to be honest, I could see the one in Only Ivan winning. If not, it goes to Tenet, which I also did not like. But you cannot deny the practical effects. So I don't know if they count visual effects as practical effects. If they do, Tenet wins. If not, I would give it to Only Ivan, only because I haven't seen the other 3. So I think that's it. We did it, folks. Those are the Oscars 2021 nominations. As I've said, this year, surprisingly fantastic. Usually every year you get like 10 nominations, 5 nominations, and like one of them is good. One of them is like undeniably worth watching in terms of you're going to be entertained, you're going to learn something, and you're also not going to regret it. Like, it's not going to weigh on you, or it's not going to suck. You know what I mean? The last thing you want to do watching a movie is like feel heavy, you know? And even though Judas and the Black Messiah is heavy, there are light parts in it that make it easy to digest. It's just, do not forget that you will have the palpable injustice I was talking about that is undeniable. But yeah, so Sound of Metal, number 1. Number 2, Judas and the Black Messiah. Number 3, Croods 2, which is the biggest Oscar snub. And if not, all of these you can watch, and trust me, you'll have a great time. After that, Promising Young Woman, if you want to have fun, even though it's about consent. Nomadland, if you want to learn about nomads in a documentary fashion. It's fantastic. Plus, this has the highest chance of winning. And of course, what's the last one? Child of Chicago 7, if you just want a mix of everything, where it's message, it's actual fun editing, and it also has like crazy wordy script where you learn a lot. So to be honest, all of these are fantastic. We'll cover The Father, as I've covered everything else. And that's pretty much it, baby. That's pretty much it. So until next time, I got the Anime Battle Royale coming up, where I watched a bunch of anime and I whittle it down so that, you know, because there's too much good anime, baby. So that is coming up soon. Please give me a follow on Twitch if you haven't, because I will cover all this stuff. Plus, I will be playing a lot of games that are just as deserving as this. I haven't played games recently because of my system. I got a lot of issues that I got to fix. But once that's done, I have hundreds of fantastic games, mostly story-based, that I will play. So stick around for that. If not, subscribe on YouTube. Alex Stories Plays, where all of my live streams will be kept, as like on Twitch. That's not always the case, where I cover everything. Child of Chicago 7 is like the last thing I covered. And that's it, baby. Thank you so much. Again, great selection this year. I'm very proud of them. I'm proud of the Oscars, which is saying a lot, except for Croods 2. Injustice. Until next time. Love you guys. Peace.